Ladies, if you feel like your biological clock is ticking, Malou may have something that might help you stop stressing.
That's right. Malou's with Nurse Barb up in the Bay, and she's got a really cool idea to help stop time.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hey there. Happy Wednesday, you two. This is an example of, well, some golden eggs. We're going to explain that in a second because Nurse Barb is here to talk about, well, freezing your eggs and when it's right for you. Great to see you, Nurse Barb.
Oh, great to see you, Malou.
All right, so let's face it. There's a lot of pressure finding Mr. Right. But sometimes Mr. Right is not Mr. Right now.
That's right. You're right. You're right about that. So I was trying to figure out a way to explain what's going on in a woman's ovaries with her fertility. And I thought, okay, I'm going to use some white ping pong balls to show you how many eggs you have. But the golden ones are the ones that are viable. These are the ones that can make a baby. And when you're younger, when you're in your 20s and early 30s, you have a lot of eggs and a lot of viable eggs.
Okay, so what is the age, the right age, when you should actually be freezing your eggs?
So if you're thinking about freezing your eggs, you want to think about it in your late 20s, maybe early 30s, way before age 37 when fertility rates start to really decline.
Okay, so how much does it decline? So this is like in your late 20s?
Yeah, this is like in your 20s. You have a lot of eggs and a lot that can be fertilized. In fact, the fertility rates, women typically in their 20s can get pregnant about within the first 3 to 6 months. 80% will be pregnant by 6 months. Now, when you get to be in your mid-30s, things are changing. Your fertility rates are declining. You still have eggs. You still have lots of golden eggs, but there's less. And it can take longer to get pregnant.
Okay, right here?
Right here, this is when you're in your late 30s, like 39, 40. You have fewer eggs, and you have fewer viable eggs. And also you have a higher rate of miscarriage. You have a higher rate of genetic abnormalities. So if you're thinking about freezing your eggs, you want to do it when you have a lot of eggs and a lot of healthy eggs that you can recruit to freeze.
Makes sense. Okay, so how does the entire process work?
So the process is a little bit complicated, but let me break it down for you.
Okay.
What happens is a woman needs to have some time to think about it and check her insurance.
Right.
Because sometimes this can be a little costly. The next thing is set aside at least 6 to 12 weeks for the entire process and find an infertility specialist to help you.
So what kind of prep time do you need? You said about 6 weeks?
You need about 4 to 6 weeks to, again, check your insurance. And here in California, what's cool is so many companies realize women are delaying having their babies for lots of reasons, maybe Mr. Right or their career or school. And so what you want to do is check your insurance, find the infertility specialist, because you're going to need to give yourself lots of hormonal injections. You're going to need to go to the lab frequently and get lots of ultrasounds before we retrieve these eggs.
Okay, so what's like the main bit of advice that you want to give women who are considering this?
I want women not to wait until they're 40 and they have fewer eggs. Use your options wisely when you're in your late 20s, early 30s, because that's when you have more eggs to recruit and freeze.
Okay, and so even after you've had a child, can you still freeze your eggs? Do you recommend that?
You can. If you had a baby when you were in your early 20s and you're not ready again until maybe in your mid-30s or later and you haven't found a Mr. Right, absolutely. This is an option for all women. And, you know, technology gives us so many options now for fertility that we didn't have in the past.
All right, Nurse Barb, great information. All right, so Danny and Jess, the takeaway here is save those golden eggs, freeze them.